inside the gates of Blackhawk. When people think about Blackhawk, they often picture the gates, the large homes, and the reputation for luxury. But what truly defines the experience of living here are the day-to-day realities that you only begin to understand over time. The real pros and cons of Blackhawk are not just about what you see when you first drive through the neighborhood. They are about how the community actually functions once you are living in it. Hi, I'm Felicia Lopez, a Danville native, a real estate expert, and a local specialist. In this 10-episode Blackhawk series, I'm breaking down everything you need to know. The homes, the neighborhoods, the lifestyle, and what it's really like to live here. If you're thinking about buying or selling in Blackhawk, this series is for you. Let's get into it. One of the most noticeable advantages of Blackhawk is how controlled the environment is. This is not just about security at the gates, it is about consistency. The landscaping is maintained, the streets are clean, and the overall appearance of the community stays stable over time. For homeowners, this creates a sense of predictability. You are not wondering how the neighborhood will change in the next few years. There is a level of continuity that helps protect both the experience of living here and the long-term value of the property. Another advantage that becomes more apparent over time is how quiet the community is. Because of its layout and controlled access, there is less through traffic compared to many other neighborhoods. This creates a more peaceful environment, particularly in the interior sections of Blackhawk. For residents who value a slower pace and less outside noise, this becomes a meaningful part of daily life. Blackhawk also offers a level of separation that is difficult to find elsewhere. This is not just a physical separation, but physiological as well. Once inside the gates, the environment feels removed from surrounding areas. For some homeowners, that sense of distance creates a more relaxed and focused living experience. However, that same separation can also be a drawback depending on your lifestyle. One of the less obvious challenges of living in Blackhawk is that almost everything requires a drive. Whether it is going to the grocery store, picking up coffee, or attending an event downtown, you are leaving the community and then re-entering through the gates. Over time, that extra step can feel more noticeable, especially for those who are used to a more walkable environment. Another factor that becomes more relevant after moving in is how the size of the homes translates into maintenance. Larger homes come with more responsibility. More square footage means more upkeep, more systems to manage, and often higher costs associated with maintaining the property. While the homes are designed for comfort and space, they also require a level of attention that smaller homes do not. There is also a timing element to consider. Because many of the homes in Blackhawk were built several decades ago, updates are not always optional. Even well-maintained homes may require improvements over time, whether it is related to design preferences or system upgrades. This is not necessarily a negative, but it is something that buyers need to be prepared for when evaluating long-term ownership. Another aspect that people often overlook is how structured the community is. Blackhawk operates within a set of guidelines that help maintain its appearance and consistency. While this is one of the reasons the neighborhood remains so well kept, it can also feel limiting for homeowners who prefer more flexibility in how they use or modify their property. This balance between structure and freedom is something that becomes more noticeable after living in the community. On the positive side, that structure contributes to a strong sense of stability. Blackhawk is not a neighborhood that changes rapidly. Homes are often held for longer periods, and the overall environment remains consistent. This creates a more predictable market, which can be beneficial for long-term planning. Another advantage is how the community supports a private lifestyle. Unlike areas that are more open to heavily traffic, Blackhawk allows residents to feel more removed from outside activity. This can be especially appealing for buyers who are relocating from busier or more densely populated areas. At the same time, that level of privacy can also feel isolating for some. Without a central walkable hub within the community, social interaction is more intentional rather than incidental. This means that residents often need to make a conscious effort to engage with others, rather than relying on natural day-to-day encounters. Weather and location also play a role in the overall experience. Being slightly further inland, Blackhawk can experience warmer temperatures compared to areas closer to the bay. For some, this is a positive, particularly those who enjoy warmer, sunnier conditions. For others, it may be something to consider, especially during the hotter months. Another practical consideration is commute patterns. While Blackhawk is well positioned for access to San Ramon and other nearby areas, commute times can vary depending on traffic and time of day. This is something that becomes part of the routine for many residents and worth factoring into the overall decision. What becomes clear when looking at these factors is that the pros and cons of Blackhawk are closely connected. The same features that make it appealing to some buyers may not align with others. The privacy, structure, and separation that define the community can be either advantages or drawbacks depending on individual preferences. This is why understanding Blackhawk goes beyond first impressions. It requires looking at how the community functions on a daily basis and how that aligns with your lifestyle. For buyers who value consistency, privacy, and a quieter environment, Blackhawk offers a strong and reliable option. For those who prioritize walkability, flexibility, or a more connected to day-to-day experience, other parts of Danville may be a better fit. The key is not deciding whether Blackhawk is good or bad. It is understanding whether it is right for you. As we continue this series, we will move into who actually lives in Blackhawk and what type of buyer tends to be the best fit for this community. That perspective will help bring everything together and give you a clearer picture of how Blackhawk functions as a whole. If you are thinking about buying or selling in Blackhawk or anywhere in Danville, having an honest understanding of these details can make a huge, significant difference. I work in this market every day, and I am here to help guide you through it with clarity and confidence. We'll see you in the next video. Bye! If this helped you understand Danville better, subscribe so you don't miss the next video. And if you're thinking about buying or selling here, reach out. I'll give you clear, honest advice. We'll see you on the next video.